A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. My name is Fabio and I hope you had a beautiful weekend. As you can see, the Dutch weather is looking absolutely terrible. I have to get a haircut as well, but regardless, we're back here with another daily market outlook. Now, starting off with EURUSD, and before I go into EURUSD, we have to have a look at Bitcoin, guys, because Bitcoin last night rose 10% in towards the upside. We quickly go down a time frame in, or up a time frame in towards the daily. We can very clearly see that we had a beautiful area of consolidation. We swept the lows. We saw an internal structure break over here and over here. We formed a fresh area of demand on the sell before the buy. And as you can see, we tap in and we go back up higher again. So just following the overall trend here on Bitcoin, still looks good to go up higher. This is currently our protected low. And as long as that low of around 100K or 99.550 holds, we should still see further upside on Bitcoin, and I would not be surprised if we do see 120,000 very soon. Obviously, this is going to be dependent on what Trump says tonight, because we have the inauguration speech around 3 to 4 hours after the usual New York open market timing, which is going to be 6 p.m. Dutch time. Today, the markets are closed in the United States, so I'm not expecting too much volatility until then on euro dollar and these other major dollar pairs. But if we do look at what the weekly and what the daily are doing, we can see that we've been pretty correct with the analysis so far. Now, what we had here on the weekly time frame is that we grabbed liquidity underneath this little bump in the road here, this little liquidity low, which is just part of the overall push up. But as you guys know, I love seeing these areas of liquidity get swept. We sweep the liquidity, then we go down into the daily, and then what we see here is that the daily gets a daily change of character. So this black line over here breaks. This is the high over here, the most recent high that broke this low, and therefore that is my fractal high. The fractal high breaks, we see a retracement on EURUSD into the 50% mark, and then from there we can see that we have a very clear area of support forming. Now, this is for myself the reason why I then went long on the 4-hour time frame. Inside where? Well, inside this 4-hour area of demand, which is going to be your sell before the buy up, which took out this piece of price action over here, which is obviously also liquidity. We then saw a push in towards this supply zone, but then we saw a very aggressive push down. Now, these very aggressive pushes down, I don't really trust them. Why is that? Well, because this buy up before the sell down should be your area of supply. However, what you see with these very aggressive pushes is that if you go in towards the 1-hour time frame, there is no liquidity in the overall move down. Okay, so what you then need to see is that you need to see liquidity formed internally. So we formed some internal liquidity, we swept that, that's why we kind of saw this drop off back down. However, you see that that supply zone is not strong enough to push and keep pushing the market down lower, at least so far. So what you want to see from a supply zone is that a supply zone pushes the market down with a lot of momentum. Okay, so what you would have expected is that once we swept that high, that the market then really goes for it. But you can see the market just rebounds again, and that this demand zone is currently in control, which is the demand zone which I've been showing since last week. Now, if you want to see, you can just watch back the videos from last week. I already been mentioning that I expect further upside from EURUSD, and as we can see, the demand zone has been holding beautifully. So we're currently pushing up higher now. Today, with the markets being closed in the United States and of course the inauguration speech, I am putting the position to break even. It's up around 1.15%. So I would just put that to break even and let it run, not looking to get liquidated on some kind of stupid position. I was also looking at the lower time frame for some nice longs. However, you can now just see that it's just one big fat ugly range. But prior to that, we had a nice area of demand over here, which I mentioned as well in last week's video, where we had a nice area of liquidity over here that got swept. We saw the V-shaped reversal in towards the highs. However, we just failed, or did we break? Yeah, we did break the 1-hour change of character high over here, but then news came, and then you see, okay, people with a stop loss underneath the lows get stopped out, people with the stop loss above the highs get stopped out. So that's the issue with the news. It just stops out everybody, but now we're seeing that the overall momentum is still in towards the upside. Now, obviously, this could just be kind of like an early move to then reverse back in towards the downside. I really do not know, but that's why as well I would be managing your risk, or my risk at least, accordingly. And let's just see what comes out of that. But this is obviously supply that is holding, this is demand that is holding, and the market is fighting in between like a heartbeat. But let's see if we can break this high over here, then I would definitely expect further prices or further upside from EURUSD, with this area of supply being next. But I would then not be surprised if we were just to take out all of these highs then over here. Okay, so that's what I have my eyes on for euro dollar at the moment. Let's say we do see, or the start of a push down. then what I need is a daily, or excuse me, a 4-hour low break again over here of these lows. I need to see a significant candle close underneath there to then really believe that we're going to head down lower. But otherwise, for now, demand is still in control. And based on what I explained on the daily fractal structure and on the weekly liquidity, I still would not be surprised to see that further upside on euro dollar. I got laughed at a lot by some people, all commenting and DMing me, we're going to head down lower and lower. But yeah, so far we can still see that there's a lot of indecision within the market. Now, the dollar index is pushing up higher, which is actually pretty strange because normally the dollar index and euro dollar, they are much more in sync than what we're seeing from today. But we can obviously see that the dollar is pumping now. It's currently inside supply. So what happened ultimately is that we saw a daily fractal structure shift. So this high over here got broken by what? Got broken by this low over here. Now this low over here then gets broken, so we have the daily fractal structure shift, and now on the 4-hour time frame, or never mind, the dollar index is not updated obviously because of the bank holiday, but it should be open back tomorrow once again. So what I'm now going to be looking at is what we can see from Aussie dollar. So on Aussie dollar, we can very clearly see, or by the way, what I want to explain on the dollar index is that we're inside weekly supply. That's all that you really need to know. This weekly area of supply should still push the market down lower, and after seeing that daily fractal structure shift over here, that to me then means that we have supply still here, and that is currently why I would not be surprised that euro dollar has the potential to push up higher still. So I'm still looking at that further upside from euro USD, but then obviously if we start closing underneath these lows, then I would consider to see some more further downside, but then we need that bearish order flow to start forming. Going into Aussie dollar next, we can see that Aussie dollar has also been very similar to euro dollar. Well, we have a weekly swing low over here where the liquidity gets grabbed. It happened the same over here, and then we obviously saw a reversal. So now I wouldn't be surprised if we see a reversal as well, go down into or up in towards the daily time frame, and then we can see that we saw a retracement back up into 618. Then you go down in towards the 4-hour. But by the way, what I need you to understand is that this is the daily fractal high, this is the daily fractal low over here. So we are still bearish, right? There is still no indication that we're going to head up higher. Momentum is down, fractal structure is down, so I would only be looking for a potential pullback, and it would confirm that there is liquidity over here once we see that daily fractal high break, which is this black line over here. That is the only point in time where I'm really going to be interested in looking for those long positions once again. Until then, yeah, Aussie dollar just remains bearish, but I'm not very keen on getting into short positions at the moment. Well, obviously today it's a bank holiday, but also because of the fact that euro dollar is kind of the king, and as well, we do not really have any clean price action over here, as you can see. There's just nothing really here for it there's just not really any clean positions to give us. We had this area of supply over here, but this supply zone gets broken, so now we're just consolidating. There's nothing really clear. We grab liquidity above the highest high of the descending highs over here, and then at that point in time we reverse down again. But for now, I would stay out of Aussie dollar until we form like a clear supply chain again, or until we break that daily fractal high, and then we look for longs again. As simple as that. And then moving on into pound dollar. So pound dollar itself, as well, very similar to what we saw on euro dollar. As you guys know, also been looking for further upside on this. We saw that initial further upside. I was looking at kind of this position over here with my stop loss just beneath the lows. I just got out at break even this morning. Don't want to be in GU swing positions anymore. Obviously, we're consolidating, and nothing is really that clean here on pound dollar for now. It still stands pretty much the overall analysis and the overall idea. We still haven't seen a close underneath the demand zone. For now, this imbalance candle over here is still our area of demand, but obviously if it's really that strong of demand, you would have wanted to see some more bullish pressure. We've swept the lows a few times now. So yeah, we just really need to start seeing some bullish pressure if it wants to head up higher. So once we do kind of break above this high and we see some kind of order flow, let's say form, that is then when I'm going to be getting into a long position, and then I'll be targeting that daily area of supply, because if you look at the daily area of supply, it is still untouched, right? The buy before the sell down. So this is buy up, strong sell down. This is your fractal structure. So I'm still looking for a retracement back up higher in towards obviously what is going to be premium, so the gray zone, the daily supply zone, until I'm really going to be interested in further shorts. But I mean, for the rest, everything is still bearish. So what I need to see for potential shorts again is that supply chain start to form. So I want to see like a strong candle close underneath these lows, and then like this become a strong area of supply, get that retested, get another low break, and then just get in on the over order flow down. That is the only kind of like shorts that I see. So I'm kind of like out now just because it's a little bit unclear what it wants. But once it becomes more clear, hopefully tomorrow I'll let you guys know what I'm going to be doing. Then obviously NZD USD and gold. So NZD USD itself is very similar to Aussie dollar. As you can see, still a lot of bearish momentum in towards the lows. So swing bearish, then daily fractal bearish as well, with this being over here your daily fractal high, this being here your daily fractal low. We retrace into supply 618, then we see for the downside go down in towards the 4 hour, and then you can see that we're just chopping around and waiting obviously for the news today. So there's nothing really to trade here on NZD USD. What needs to happen is that we need to start breaking lows again for shorts. Yeah, this is the thing. You can see supply by up, sell down, by up, sell down. You see there's some form of like supply being respected each time. But then again, it's just because of today and what's going to be said. Nobody really knows. That's why we're just consolidating and the market is waiting for the news to come out. Now, if you want to get in on longs, then obviously we need to see a break of this black line over here, preferably. If we look here at the higher time frame being the weekly, we still have the weekly lows open, which I preferably would want to see swept. Does it need to happen? No. So that's why I'll just wait for the daily fractal high to get broken, and that for me will be the confirmation that we can then look for longs once again, and this will become your area of demand. But for now, supply is obviously still in control, so not looking at longs just yet, staying out just like I am on Aussie dollar. The most interesting pair, to be fair, looks euro dollar and pound dollar, but just need a little bit more confirmation obviously to be shown. Then of course we have gold. Gold is currently inside daily demand, or just came into daily demand. We can still see that the over order flow is holding. So every single time we just look at the sell before the buy, and then you can see that it just keeps on holding. So again, if we tap in towards the overall sell before the buy over here, we are at a key level of resistance, which is preventing the market from pushing up higher with ease. But I do expect if we see some lower time frame confirmation that we could get in on potential longs. For now, we're inside an area of supply over here. I want to wait for that supply zone to get broken. So I need the high over here to get broken. And then once that high gets broken, that is when I'll get into more long positions once again, because otherwise until then we could just start falling lower again. So wait for this to happen if you want to get in on longs. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for at this point in time. So thank you so much for tuning in again to this daily market outlook. Wish you all a fantastic trading day and speak soon.